This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Kingston man escapes imprisonment after assault on ex-lover. A man who pleaded guilty to assaulting his ex-lover during a recent dispute over money was spared jail time when presiding judge suspended his 12-month prison sentence. Raphael Morgan was sentenced in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court last Friday, February 5, after pleading guilty to assaulting the 25-year-old woman. But he was in luck as Chief Parish Judge Chester Crooks suspended the sentence for 3 years. "I'm sentencing you to 12 months at hard labor and suspending it for 3 years, Crooks told Morgan. "You won't be going to prison today, but it's up to you. If you get into any trouble within 3 years, I'll be extending it." Asked by Crooks to explain why he assaulted the woman, a fidgeting Morgan said about some money. He explained that the two had a dispute over the money when he struck her in anger. "You know you don't have any right to put your hands on her," Crooks scolded Morgan, before ordering him to compensate the woman for the injury to her face. After Morgan gave the woman $15,000 in court, the judge told him, "I am going to sentence you now and take into consideration that you pleaded guilty, and I have leniency on you. The money that you pay her is you saying to me that you're sorry for what you have done." Female Trelawney farmer pleads guilty to sister's murder. Nadine Geddes, a Trelawney farmer, pleaded guilty to the murder of her 36-year-old sister, Tamara Geddes, of Reserve District, Falmouth in the parish, in the Trelawney Circuit Court on Monday. Nadine's two daughters, one of whom is a minor, also pleaded guilty in connection with their aunt's killing. Sentences are to be handed down on the three family members later this month. Tamara was shot dead in her home by a gunman on Friday, June 19, 2020. Following months of extensive coordinated investigations across Trelawney, St. James, Westmoreland, and the corporate area, detectives arrested and laid charges against the sister of the deceased and her two daughters, 21-year-old Shanice Ruddock and a 15-year-old, along with 24-year-old Brian Shelley, 23-year-old Rexon Knott, both of Norwood, St. James, and Owen Irwin, and 33-year-old Tashana Young, both of St. James addresses. Reports from the Falmouth police were that on June 19, at about 8:30 p.m., Tamara Geddes was in her room with her daughter when a gunman entered the house, demanded money, and then shot the mother several times. The police were alerted and she was taken to a hospital where she was pronounced dead. Her daughter, who was with her at the time of the attack, escaped unhurt. On Tuesday, July 14, Nadine Geddes, along with both her daughters and Owen Irwin, were arrested and charged in connection with the murder of Tamara Geddes. The other accused persons were subsequently arrested and charged by investigators. Father arrested for slapping son who raped him and told him bad words. A 35-year-old man was arrested and hauled before the court after attempting to discipline his 13-year-old son, who he said raped him and told him bad words. The father was charged with unlawful wounding due to an injury his son sustained to the face during the incident. The father said he was using his hand to hit the out-of-control youth when he was injured. He pleaded guilty to a charge of unlawful wounding when he appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Friday, February 5. The man explained to Chief Parish Judge Chester Crooks the circumstances that led him to strike his son, who was visiting with him at the time. "He used expletives towards me and started to drape me, so I had to scold him for it," he said, while adding that he did not intentionally injure the boy. He explained that his son was moving up and down when his hand accidentally caught him in the face. The teen's mother told the court that this is the first time she's known of the accused hitting their son. The court referred them to counseling and the father was given an April 22 date for sentencing. Slick coordination between businessman and cops reels in shopbreaker. The coordinated efforts of a business operator and the police in St. Elizabeth, along with the use of technology, have led to the arrest and charge of a man suspected of breaking into a bar on Main Street in Santa Cruz in the parish on Saturday, January 6, 2021. Charged with shop breaking with intent is 27-year-old Odin Gale, a chef of Brighton Street in St. Elizabeth. Reports from the Santa Cruz police are that about 4 a.m. on Saturday, the business owner was remotely monitoring his premises when he noticed untoward occurrences there. He contacted the police, who swiftly responded and allegedly caught Gale inside the business place. He was arrested and later charged. A date for his appearance in court is being finalized by the police. Mother and sister on murder charges to get legal aid representation. The mother and sister of a St. Mary man who were charged in connection with his murder late last year are still without legal representation. The duo, 63-year-old Leverona Forrester, otherwise called Jamarge, and her daughter, 32-year-old Anne-Marie Forrester, otherwise called Pinky, both of Tanklin, Arakabeso, appeared in the St. Mary Parish Court on Thursday. They have been charged with conspiracy to murder and murder in relation to the killing of 26-year-old Jerome Forrester, otherwise called the Mophead, also of Tanklin, Arakabeso, who was murdered on Christmas Day last year. The court has ordered that both women should be assigned legal aid attorneys. They were further remanded in custody until Thursday, February 18. Police blotters indicated that on Monday, December 28, Jerome Forrester was reported missing by his sister and a search was launched for him. The next day, a partially decomposed, dismembered body was found in knitted bags behind the family's yard. Investigators then theorized that the mother and sister of the man conspired and killed him. His older brother, Alfred Forrester, was also being sought by the police for questioning in relation to the death. Both women were arrested on Tuesday, December 29, 2020, and later charged following interviews. Alfred Forrester, while being sought in relation to the murder, was found dead with what appeared to be several wounds on Wednesday, December 30. The police are awaiting a post-mortem report to determine if the wounds on Alfred Forrester's body were self-inflicted or if he was killed in an act of reprisal. Residents of the community theorized that the killing of Jerome Forrester stemmed from a dispute over a piece of land, but the police are yet to provide an official motive for the killing. Frustrated man assaults a lover who chooses friends and smoking over him. A fisherman is now facing the possibility of being sent to jail after assaulting the mother of his children, who he says always chooses smoking and friends over him. The man, Antonio Murphy, explained his frustration over the situation while pleading guilty to a charge of assault in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court yesterday. "I'm a fisherman, and when I can come back from work, it's curfew hours, and I catch her at her friend's house full of women and men, smoking and drinking," Murphy said. "Every time I go to sea, I leave food and money in the house. I give her $10,000, and I'm frustrated she chooses her friends, drinking and smoking over me. If she's drinking and smoking, what would happen to the children?" Murphy vented, while explaining that he built a house for the woman and their daughter so they could be comfortable. But the victim responded, "He punched me in my face and tell my 7-year-old daughter things she's not supposed to hear." However, Murphy countered, "She flared up at me and hit me in my mouth, so I hit her back. Lie she's telling. I love my daughter and would never tell her anything like that." They are to return to court on April 1. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.